You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your early weekly spoilers for July 1st through 5th. We've got big news. Eric Brady says he's leaving, and Steve might be leaving too because he might be behind bars for some bad deeds that he has done. We have so much to unpack for you. We have spoilers for every single day of next week. I'll tell you the dates, all the good stuff. If you have not, though, please reach down and click that subscribe button and follow us. And now let's jump right in. And as always, on early edition day, I talk about what's happening the rest of this week, just to give you some context for the spoilers for next week. With that in mind, on Wednesday, June 26th, Xander and Sarah talk about Xander's relationship with Victor. You know, Xander was always looking for his approval. Victor was always criticizing him and denying it. And then, of course, towards the end, Victor knew that Xander was his son. But before he got to come home and reunite with him, Constantine took down the plane because he's horrible. And in a fitting twist of fate, Xander killed Constantine. I'm sure that'll make him feel better when he does finally find out Victor was his dad. But it's just very complicated for Xander. He's got some deep-rooted mommy and daddy issues. Daddy issues he doesn't even know about yet. Meanwhile, Chanel collapses with cramps. Johnny and Paulina get her over to the hospital. Things are looking scary. And this comes after a warning from the doctor that he had seen some kind of he called it it wasn't a soft tissue thing. The word soft was in there. Basically, it could be a sign of abnormality with the pregnancy. And Alex and Theresa Donovan announced that they are engaged. He pulled out that ring. She said yes, but you can tell that she's not quite feeling how she should feel as a happy bride to be. Thursday, June 27th, Theresa hustles to cover up some of the sins of her past. We do know that Colton Little is back as Andrew Donovan at some point sooner rather than later. I wonder if he comes to town about the whole Victoria kidnapping or if that's going to wait to come out closer to the wedding. And we are going to see Gabi Hernandez on Thursday, the 27th, and she's getting a kiss from her husband, Stefan, but she is still behind bars at Statesville as of this week. Xander and Nicole have a really nasty argument at work. I believe she writes a scathing article about Constantine's shooting and probably has some nasty things to say about Xander. She doesn't like him. He did blackmail her into marriage and kept her in a cage for a while. You know, little things women hold grudges over. Am I right? Friday, June 28th, we have Stefan DiMera making a promise to Gabi, and that promise is she will be home soon. Eric gives Nicole some big life-changing news, and that's going to carry over onto next week's episode. EJ talks to Rafe. He wants his help to deal with Melinda. EJ has got to get Gabi out of prison, or else Stefan is going to tell Nicole that baby Jude is really Eric's. This is the soapiest of soap plots. Of course, he can't tell Rafe any of that, but he can convince Rafe to help him because Rafe also wants Gabi out. Of course, he wants his sister home. Melinda's got the bloody notebook with Gil's fingerprint in it. Clyde is off at Supermax. They can't really use him for more info. So EJ is in a very, very tight spot. And Paulina feels horribly guilty because what is going on with Chanel's pregnancy crisis, and her husband Abe is there trying to comfort and console her. That takes us into the week of July 1st through 5th. And just so you know, there will be a new episode on Independence Day. That's one of the nice things about them streaming the soap is that we don't have any holiday type preemptions. With that in mind, Monday, July 1st, guess what? Gabi Hernandez is out of prison and home. It sounds like she's reunited with Stefan. I think she's at home, unless, of course, this is a carryover from Friday when they're kissing, but based the way the spoilers are written, until we get more detailed ones, I think that's what it might be. However, we also have a spoiler on Monday saying EJ DiMera is in a panic and he makes a desperate offer to Melinda Trask. So not sure if he makes the offer and then gets what he needs to get her out, or if the spoilers are just muddled. Sometimes they're not written really clearly, but we have EJ action with Melinda and Gabi action with Stefan. Tuesday, July 2nd, Jada Hunter talks to Steve Johnson about the whole deal where he broke Clyde Weston out of prison. Now, as far as Jada knows, Steve did it alone because despite Kayla thinking that he should come clean about everybody involved, more specifically about Ava Vitale being involved, Steve said it was just him. And of course, we know it was John and Ava as well. There was a whole mess there. Ava betrayed the guys and Clyde got away. And it's all turned messy. But Steve seemed to think that he was going to get out of this with just a slap on the wrist. Kayla sent him some legal advice, but Jada tells him it's not going to be that simple and he may face some serious consequences. Clyde's a bad murderous dude and he got him out of prison. So I don't know why he thought he was going to get away with probation and some community service picking up trash on the roadside, you know? Kate Roberts has a business idea. She wants Abe Carver on board with her. They had talked before about the fact that he doesn't have a job. Paulina has his mayoral job. And she offered him a job as like the head of sanitation or something. And he was like, no, thank you. So he and Kate are thinking about what could they do together because they do like working together. Wednesday, July 3rd, Chad opens up to Kayla and then he goes to ask Paulina something that's difficult. And Stephanie asks Jada to go visit Bob Everett at the mental ward. It seems his recovery isn't going as well as they want. Things are getting dicey. And since Jada and Bobby have this existing relationship, she's hoping that maybe she can get through to him. Thursday, July 4th, again, enjoy the fireworks, but also enjoy a brand new episode of Days of Our Lives that day. Tate tells Holly Jonas that he's got big summer plans for them. It sounds like they are going to ignore the parents' ultimatum to stay apart, unless, of course, by this point, their parents have softened up. Tate does want Brady to work on Theresa about this, but she doesn't seem like she's keen on relenting. Alex Kiriakis needs some legal advice and goes to his real dad, who he thinks is not his dad, Justin Kiriakis. And I wonder if it's to write him up a prenup, which should be hard for gold-digging Theresa to take in stride because a prenup is a big obstacle to a gold digger. Friday, July 5th, Kristen DiMera, who's now CEO of DiMera Enterprises, considers hiring Melinda at DiMera Enterprises. And I wonder if EJ has had to trade favors around and ask Kristen to hire her so he can offer that job to Melinda to get what he needs from Melinda. Everything's getting convoluted. And Eric tells Nicole he's leaving Salem. He's not just leaving Salem, he's leaving Salem that day. So it's very interesting because Ari Zucker is out as Nicole at the end of July, but Eric Brady was still filming up until April for the big 15,000th episode. So if he leaves town, he's only going to be gone a hot second, and Nicole is going to be leaving for good. So we'll see how that goes. Those are all of our early weekly spoilers. And of course, come back this weekend. We'll have full weekly spoilers, comings and goings, 2 weeks, all the good stuff. Drop your comments on what you're excited to see. Please click that subscribe button if you're not following us. And if you are following us, you are wonderful and we appreciate you. Be sure and come back 7 days a week. We're always here talking Days of Our Lives, and I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.